3, 2, 1. This is Lovin Social Media's gift to the world on the intricacies of social search engine optimization. I'm Gary Kasulu.
I'm Stelios.
Andres.
Zaliha.
So you got people, all different types of experience here. And what we're going to try and do, if Andreas doesn't understand something, he's going to say, I don't get that, or Zalia, or whatever. And we're hoping we have most of the answers. We don't have all the answers because Google keep that locked away. So we start with some basics. There's 3 types of search engine optimization. The one that everyone knows is the one that is to do with the website. Of course, if you want that website to be first, it has to have good stuff on it. There'll be many or update. One of the first updates was Penguin Panda, and Penguin Panda, they were telling you off. You mustn't have toxic backlinks. You mustn't have spelling errors. You mustn't have a favicon. You've got to have a favicon, really important. You've got to have a 404 redirect. It told you a million different reasons of why you couldn't be page 1, and all that they were penalizing you. Then came along a beautiful update called Hummingbird. These are all the things you could do right. Link to social media, give great content that's more than 350 words, internal links, external links, visuals for blind people with alt text. Great. We love the Hummingbird. There's just a recent one called Eat, about really giving the best piece of advice to the client. So on page, easy, relatively. You've got to keep it up to date. It's got to be the best. Off page, and it's always been this way, is the website's linking to your particular page. So if you are an optician and you link to the Association of Dispensing Opticians, makes sense, right? If you're linking to a toilet factory, bad, unless that toilet factory does glasses. They call that a toxic link, or a link that sells drugs, maybe to a teddy bear company. Bad, right? It's got to have some kind of association. And then what we're going to really explore today is technical SEO. So I'm going to hand that over to the expert Stelios, and he's going to look at a tool that we use called WooRank. Over to you, Stel.
Oh, so just before I share my screen, Gary, can you just turn your computer sound? Stop sharing your computer sound, rather. Because otherwise it won't let me share my screen.
Is it working now?
No, you're still sharing. Oh,
how about now?
Cool, all good. So we use a tool called WooRank.
You turn your volume up a bit still.
Yeah. Now is that better? Cool. So we use a tool called WooRank, and it basically gives your score. It gives you a score out of 100 on how technically savvy your site is. Now, a lot of this stuff are kind of like one and done. It's things that you can kind of do in the early stages of when you set up your website, or if you're an agency and you've just taken on a client. These are things that you can do kind of, at the very beginning, and then you just need to make sure you're checking them on occasions just to make sure that, things are still technically sound. So this essentially what it does is it gives you a checklist of kind of what's passed, what needs to be improved, and what are errors. Now, as an SEO agency, there's elements of these that we can do, and there's elements of these that are a bit too techy for us. So we keep those for the web developers because we don't really want to break the website too much. So this is our own website, our Lovin Social Media website. We've recently updated our website, which is why the score isn't as good as it used to be. So it's on 62, so it's not disastrous, but looking at through this essential checklist, it will give us indications as to how we can improve it. So although we have a title tag, which is in green, it meets the character requirement, it's probably not optimized as best as it could be. So that's something we can look at changing. We don't have a meta description. That's actually missing. So again, you can
one of the like when you click on there, it says how easy is it to fix and how effective is it. So this is an easy one to fix, and it's super effective. If you imagine Google spiders or their bots blindly looking at your website, this gives them an idea of what it's about. The reason, in case you're wondering, what kind of a social media company doesn't have a meta description? Well, we can answer that. We just updated our website last week. So when you have a refresh, sometimes it deletes it all. We definitely had one last week. We don't have one today. So in case you're wondering.
So that's one of the first things that we can fix. So I want to do this in real time just so that you can actually see. So you can see our score is 62. I'm going to go to the back end of our website and we'll do this together just so that you can actually see how simple it is. Obviously we are CMS, which is our where we have our website, is on WordPress. Different CMSs, it will differ slightly how you can update your meta type or meta description. With WordPress sites, I'd probably say 9 out of 10 will use a plugin called Yoast, which is just makes life really simple in terms of like SEO for plugins. It's just taking a bit long to load, so I'm just going to stop sharing really quickly and then just get it up and running again. And then what we're going to do is make sure that we have a meta description, and just remember the number 62, because once we've updated our meta description, we should hopefully see that score go up. So I've got it back up now, so you can see in here. So if we go, so this is the back end of our site. We've got the front page of our website. So we need to obviously
And it might look
update.
slightly different on your WordPress
Yeah,
site,
depending on
the
what
version.
depending on what theme builder you're using, it will differ. We're using Elementor, so the way that it looks is different. As you can see, our homepage doesn't have a focus key phrase, so we might make this social media Enfield, for example.
Or
And
social media management, London.
we'll keep it a social media.
And the
London.
smart thing to do is look at, maybe Zalia, if you wouldn't mind looking at SEMrush, what's a really popular word or key
So I
phrase?
already have a Excel for that. Let me see if I can find
Yeah,
it.
let's see. Teamwork makes the dream work. So we're gonna have a look. Like using a word that is hardly searched for, like 10 a year, it's niche. It's unless you're selling jumbo jets or doing crazy stuff like that. Like really, you want to pick a word that is searched for quite a lot, would be my advice.
So the word that's been searched a lot, but with a keyword difficulty of 71, I don't think we would go for that one, but it's digital marketing agency. And then there's one that's has a good volume of search, and it's called digital marketing agency in London, but the keyword difficulty is 59, so it's still doable. And there's another one, is digital marketing marketing agencies near me.
That's good.
And that's really good as well. It has a volume search of 590 with a keyword difficulty of 30.
Well, what should we decide on? Do you want to, Andreas, which one do you think would be the most lucrative for us and get us the right play? See, for me,
Can I share my screen?
I think the London one.
I think London myself.
Yeah, because it attracts more people from a wider area.
So here they are all.
I hope if you're watching this, you're loving it and you're thinking, wow, is this how easy it is?
Digital marketing agency London, yeah.
So are you guys speaking about this one?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think that's pretty good.
So if you're watching this thinking, oh, that's all I do to be number one, you're far mistaken, I'm afraid. How you bake an amazing cake is you put lots of ingredients in it. You like Rocky Road, Andreas?
I do.
Oh man, I love Rocky Road. Rocky Road, I tasted one the other day and it had caramel in it, like crunchy. Oh my God. The more you put in there, the better. You got to get the mix right. If you put too many, it's too much. So this is exact. So yes, we're doing one quick thing. It just contributes to the bigger picture. Now, this meta description, you will never get to page one without a meta description. I tell you that for sure, because what it does, it's a snapshot of what your page is about. And if you were to ever get to page one without a meta description, no one would ever trust clicking it because it doesn't describe what the page is all about. So it's really important that you keep it within a certain amount of characters and that there's a call to action at the end, maybe say call us or something like that. It's a good idea, but Stelios has written that perfectly. Are you a digital marketing agency? Are you looking for a digital marketing agency in London? So yes, I am. We're a family-run agency taking your marketing to the next level. Call us. Amazing. Right, I'll click that. Very good on the spot there. Still.
So then the other things that you want to do is you want to turn this little guy into green, and there's different ways that you can do that. So obviously now that we've got our focus key phrase in there, there'll be elements, so you can see we've not actually mentioned the focus key phrase at all on our homepage. So that's something that we'll need to do. We have no outbound link, so maybe linking to our socials will help improve that. And adding images which have the focus key phrase as our alt tag. Alt text. So again,
So we
that's
can
all
come
stuff-
back to all of that detailed stuff.
That's all stuff we can come back to.
Amazing.
What we're looking at is making sure we've got the meta description. So I'm
And
going to
and it really is probably one of the most important and the easiest to do, I would say.
So it's just going to update, and once it does, we can go back to WooRank and we'll be able to refresh our score. And with some luck, we would have improved our score of 62. Right, so here we go.
In your new job, will you do this stuff? I'm not sure.
Potentially, I might roll it out to others to do. I might be doing this. I'll be training others.
Here we go. You get a good feeling about when this happens. Andreas, have you felt this feeling before of when you're working on your WooRank and it goes up in front of your eyes?
Yeah, me and Stel did it one time before, and
it's good
I think we literally put in 2 things and it went up by like 5, 6. Like,
It's a good
really
feeling.
good.
So we in the interest of time, we're going to try and skip through the rest of the report and just explain how else to do it. So that was an easy one, and maybe we could look at some of the social media stuff at the bottom. Up to you still.
Yeah, let's just
You
let
lead
it
the way.
load. 65. So it's gone up by 3, and it took us 2 minutes to do. Nothing complicated, but it's all happy. It's all green. Happy days. And a Google preview we now have, which we didn't have before. So now that we've actually got our meta description, we now have a Google preview. So that's all good. Some other things that we can look at improving is let's scroll through. So we've got schema, which is good, but there was one thing that I noticed that we didn't have. So asset minification is something I would speak to a web developer about, and a little bit more complicated to do. And if it's not done properly, it can break the site. So speak to your web developers. If you don't have one, it might be good to get a web developer you can trust around, or speak to us, and we can always help you and reach out to web developers that we use. So one thing that I did notice is we do have our structured data implemented, but what we haven't told Google is all of our websites are linked. So you can see that they found websites, they found our social media on our webpage, but it's not been added to our structured data. So this will really help elevate our WooRank probably into the 70s. So the way that you do that is through using a tool called Schema. And this website, technicalseo.com, will basically give you a quick breakdown of everything that you need. So we're an organization, so you want to use the organization schema file. And when it loads, so it's asked for the name, so media. Our alternate name might be, again, it could still be Loving Social Media. If you've got an abbreviated name of your website or your business, you can add that there. Then it's going to ask you for your URL. So I'll take that from our website. So here we go. Quickly add that. And then the logo
This is free to use, by the way.
Well,
If you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, this is not going to cost me money, not at all. These are free services. On WooRank, you get your first one free. So yeah, these things can be done without you having to pay money.
100%.
Or you can pay us and we'll do it for you.
So whenever you need to get your image URL, if you just click the right button and then open image in new tab, it will load up your image and it will give you the URL. So then you can use that here. And then social profiles. So we've got Facebook, we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram, we've got YouTube, we've got LinkedIn. You could add the website again if you wanted, but I'm just going to get them from our website. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. So you can see, you might be saying, but why are you adding these again if they are already, if they're already present on the website? So they are present, but we've not done it in a technical way for search engines to be able to see that there's a relationship between the two.
And it will, if you do this properly, it will add it on your Google business profile as part of what Google want to do for you. You might notice that sometimes when you look at the Google business profile, it doesn't have the little snippet making, if you do this, it really does give you that snippet, and it's brilliant. And I always think about, I don't know if you've ever built a kitchen before or an extension. You probably, some of you might have, if you own a house. Now the builder finishes it and it's called builder's finish. What people don't understand, even though we've just made a new website, you think, oh, that's finished. They leave it website builder's finish. Literally, they've done it and they've deleted all the old stuff and they've forgotten to put the old stuff in. And that's what we're doing right now. They've left it builder's finish. So that's a real shock to most people. They've just got a new website, but yet it's not optimized at all, and you won't reach any kind of audience.
So we've added the information, and you can see that it's told us a little bit of code on the right hand side. All I need to do is simply copy that code, and then I'll go back to our website. So we want to actually jump into the website so that we can see it. And this code is not visible, it's hidden, you can't see it, it sits on the back end of your, most people add it on their homepage, which is where we're about to add it now. And it's something that just sits on the back end, but for search engines, it gives them the ability to see the relationships between the website and the social platform. So once this loads, we'll be able to add the code onto the website, and remember the number 65, because that will probably change by the time we are done. So you want to search for code, and obviously this will differ again for your different CMSs that you have. I'm going to add code. So because it's hidden, it doesn't matter too much where it sits, because it's not going to interfere with the front end of the website. So the code is there. And before you do that, you just want to preview the changes just in case it's managed to sneak its way to the front end of the website, which it shouldn't do. And then once we're all happy with that, we can go ahead and update it. So there you can see the code doesn't appear on the front end of the site. So we can go ahead and update that now because we're happy with our code. And I would always double check once you update it to make sure that the code isn't visible on the front end. And once you are, then happy days. We've now informed search engines the relationship between our social media and our website, and we can show that there's a relationship between the two. I think that's been updated. I'm going to go back to our website and then just hard refresh it. So Control F5, and it will load, and you can see there is no code on the front end. But if we go to our WooRank and we refresh this again, we just scroll to the top, this number should change.
Good job, Stel. You really explained that very well. Andreas, do you have any questions about any of this? When I started this journey, I didn't know what a 404 redirect was, or a Vavacom, or a backlink. I had no clue. I learned from here, looking at the words, thinking like, how do you do that? And then I'd Google it, watch a YouTube video, learn.
And that's the other good thing. That's the other good thing with WooRank. It's a very like interactive step by step. Not only does it tell you what the error is, it then tells you how to do it. So if you're looking at it and you have an interest in you want to be a web developer, you're interested in code, by all means, feel free to look at the step by step. And through some trial and error, you may find that you might be able to do some of the other more advanced elements that are on. So whilst this is loading, we are almost there. This should take us into a score of above 70, I'm hoping, he says.
Ta-da. Yes, Andreas, look at that. And
now it's in green.
Great.
impressive, right?
And there still are the tweaks that we can do, but that exercise took us about 15-20 minutes, and we've improved our score from 62 to 73. Our site is now technically sound, and we probably won't need to touch it again for another few months.
And Google will get more traffic from it. Andreas and Zalia, did you see that? Did you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, still explain that really well.
Really, really well. So we're not associated with WooRank or any other search engine optimization kind of companies. We've done this as a gift for you in 2023. You'll be watching it. We'll put it up, and I hope you've enjoyed it. We are available. If you want us to do it for you rather than you do it yourself, we are available. What makes us slightly different is we love SEO and we're really good at digital marketing too. So book in for an appointment. We'll put all the links below. That's it from us. Cut. Stop.